Okay, it's Friday morning here, like 2 in the morning, and just thought I'd make a quick video on Facebook, and I'll try to put it in the context of what the strat kind of looks at, and it'll maybe give you a feel of how this comes together. The strat looks at multiple time frames and tries to analyze them together. So here's like a monthly chart of Facebook. That's a big picture chart, and I have a weekly chart here and a daily chart. And if you watch that introductory video, it kind of talks about having continuity with the time frame. So when you see green on the monthly and green on the weekly and green on the daily all at the same time, that means you're in continuity and the buyers are in control, and that has certain implications. Every so often, there are opportunities when you don't have full continuity, but that's something to get into later. And then the important thing with the strat, and this is why I'll show you Facebook has an interesting thing developing, is that it really, the whole premise of it is that price makes broadening action and then reverses, and because it's seeking out sellers and buyers before it reverses. So that's why you'll see, for example, on this weekly chart, it made a higher high here and immediately reversed, and then it went ahead and made a lower low here, and now it's reversing. So it broadened, it broadened to the upside here and to the downside here. And when you look at strat examples, you'll see them drawing that kind of broadening, just like I'm doing now, that upward angle and downward angle. You'll see that broadening action and then a reversal. So keep that in mind. That's what price action does. But in terms of the strat, so this is how you quickly look at it. Monthly chart, this is the big picture. So let's see what's going on there. It obviously has been coming down, but then in November it made a higher high. So it went up, that's called a two up. By the way, there are just 3 bars, 1, 2, and 3. 2 bars make, either higher highs or lower lows. The 1 bars are inside of the previous bar, and the 3 bars take out both sides of a previous bar's range. So when I say 1, 2, 3, that's what I'm meaning. You'll see most bars are either 2 up or 2 down, and every so often you get an inside bar 1, and what's really rare are these 3 bars that take out both ranges of a previous bar. But anyway, so I'm looking at this in November. It made a 2 up. Then it started to make a 2 down, and this is the interesting thing in the big picture. And it actually broadened out to the downside, so you're thinking reversal. I mean, you're looking for it, and that's where you go to the lower time frames to kind of try to time it. And then it started up, and it actually almost made, a 3 bar, but it kind of settled here. And now we're looking at an inside bar so far in January, but there's still time to go in the month. So you can see here it's red at the moment from where it opened the beginning of the year. But if it goes green here, and it could now be forecasting maybe you're going to get a 2 up reversal here on the monthly, which would confirm this broadening action to the downside. Then it would be heading up to those highs again. So keep in mind on the monthly chart, it's getting ready to turn. On the weekly chart, this is the next time frame. Oops, let me get the mouse. You can see here it has currently a 2 down week going, and we've had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday so far. So for this bar to reverse back up, you need it to close. It has to close somewhere tomorrow, Friday, and then you're going to have to see a 2 up starting next week. So we'll look for that. And what happened today, this was the first sign you might be kind of triggering all these time frames. You had it broadened out to the down. These are the 4 days of this week. It actually opened lower below that day, and then it moved up 50% of that previous bar, and that's where I bought it today. I bought Facebook, and then it moved up and made a 3 high today. So this actually reversed on the daily time frame, which is getting ready to trigger the weekly reversal maybe next week, which could possibly start this monthly bar up in somewhere in mid-January, and maybe by the end of January you'll get a 2 up, which will confirm that. So I don't want to get into what the exact trade opportunity is at the moment, but today was actually the first day to try to buy it on this 50% reversal kind of trade, and then you can monitor and see what develops going forward. As it goes forward, if this makes a new weekly 2 up and the daily is now going, you can then look for some very good daily signals here, knowing that the monthly is likely getting ready to go higher. So that's kind of what's going on, overall with the strat, the way you look at the different time frames and the different signals and how it all integrates. And I could show you many examples where it sets up perfect trade opportunities given what's really developing in the market. Here, Facebook has to do a few things to really reverse and feel comfortable that the reversal's taking place. I mean, if tomorrow nothing happens, and then who knows, maybe next week it goes down again, and maybe this monthly bar just stays inside of this previous month and we just get choppiness all, so that still could happen too. You don't know. but you're definitely watching, and then there are actionable signals within this daily chart to really stay in line with if are you reversing or not. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. So Facebook, to me, it's interesting because today was the first day to potentially buy it, broadening out from that. You can see here it made a lower low on the daily chart from all these days, and now it might be ready to be heading up to me making a higher high here. And if it does head higher in the days ahead, it's going to trigger the weekly and monthly chart. So it's kind of a tricky one to know exactly what's developing, but that gives you an idea. And, I can go over all kinds of other stocks and show you other examples, but hopefully that's a decent introduction to all of this.